on my mind, I'm going to post my struggle on social because social media is king. Or is it? Welcome to the conversation. I am still Chinwe Blessing. I'm going to be having a conversation today about social selling success. That's how I want to put it. Like, social selling success. Okay, we're going to talk about how you can leverage social media to boost your sales, the dynamic world of social selling, the dynamic world of social media, how you could use it not just to make money, but also to, take the juice. Everybody talks about how terrible social media is and how AI is going to take over our jobs and take over the world. But before it does that, is there a way that we could benefit off of social media? That's what the conversation is about today. I'm going to be having this conversation with a new media executive and a development journalist. Okay, now he has covered social responses, conflict and social accountability. He's known for his work using social media for social good. I'll tell you what, and this individual go back as far back as I think before the 2010s, right? And first time I met him, they said he used social media to do stuff. I'm like, because then it was like Facebook and what's the other one? There's this one, oh Lord, to go. But he has been doing so much work in the social media world, and he has figured out how he could be using social media for positive and how he can be earning a living for both himself and his family and the people around him using social media. His name is Joey Shekonuzibo. Wow. Shekonuzibo. Did I get it right? Of course, I've been practicing. We just call him Joey, really, because, or we call him Mr. Zibo, because, saying Shekoni Zibo can be a mouthful. But hi, Joey.
Hi, what's up, ABJ? My name is Joey Shekonuzibo.
Okay, yes.
Shekonuzibo.
Jimbo.
Jimbo. We can go over this
over and over again.
5 syllables. Joey Shekonuzibo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smooth.
It was much fun when your wife tried to pronounce your name on your wedding day.
I know, right?
It was a lot of fun. Some of us really enjoyed that. We were looking forward to it. That, madam, he's yours now, huh?
Right.
Pronounce the name.
Right.
Say the name.
Right.
It was really fun. But then welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Take us back. Why did you decide? I know, I know. Why did you decide social media, this is what I want to do? And at what point did you figure out, I could actually make money off of this?
Okay, so 3 things. I decided to do what I'm doing today. The journey started 2016 when I got into school. I decided to use social media for 3 things: for impact, influence, and income. So are the 3 I's why I'm on the social media space.
Impact,
income, and influence.
Influence.
Yes. So it starts from influence, impact, and income. So I can actually take some time to explain all of that.
Please do. Please do.
All right. So it is when you have impact that you have influence, and it's when you have an influence you can now convert that to what? Income. Yes. So as a young person starting out very young, I got into the university to study a course that I never chose, but then life happened.
You're one of those people.
Exactly. Life happened, and I told myself, I just don't want to go to university to just be a graduate. I want to pass through the school, and I picked 2 things: the good use of social media and radio. So that's why we're here. So
it did not include your wife, No, that was not one of the things you picked along.
We don't have to bring that up.
It's part of the story.
I know, right?
We love love over here, okay?
Right.
All right, so let's just get into the meat of it. What's the biggest challenge you face, saying, social media is what I want to do, and radio as well? How did your family take that?
So there were lots of kickbacks from my dad. In fact, at some point, my dad was like, what are you doing in Jos? Because my history is from Jos. What are you doing in Jos? Come over to Abuja and all of that. And I'm like, I think I have discovered a niche, and there's been a lot of kickbacks, and so far so good. It just took some time off that my dad had to understand that this guy, I think, is doing very well because of my successes. In fact, he'll be like, I saw you on TV, and I'm like, oh wow, nice. Or someone said, oh, I saw your son in so place, and sent him like a receipt, and he'll be like, oh wow. I think I'm beginning to understand why my son decided to do what he's doing. But the good part is, at the end of the day, to cut the long story short, when all of this translated into cash, that was when it made more sense. and then.
Did you ever doubt at any point, like
No.
when you kept going and the money wasn't coming out of it?
No. I mean, I remember
you
when
have to be a very special breed because
so
there's a lot of doubt.
So let me be
I
specific. The first gig I got, I think I got a social media gig on Twitter to post for just 1K. And I'm like, wow. So I can actually 1,000 like per post, like one K.
1K per
make
post.
one post. And I'm like, wow. I think there's money in this thing. And I realized that for me to get to that pace, I have to build a followership and I need to build a fan base and all of that. And that's how the journey started. Grew my first account, sold the account for money purposes, and of course, we're talking about it off air. Sold it, built another one, had a lot of traction, and built a lot of pages and your journey. We're going to talk about your journey.
You really want to do that?
I remember when I was introducing X, Twitter then, but now X, to Chinwe Blessing. She had a lot of struggles. I didn't even understand how the Twitter works. And I'm like, see, as an OAP, for you to start out, you need to have an X account. Simply because as the news breaks, you have to. So I kept trying and boom. Chinwe is up to like almost 20K and I'm still struggling with 9K.
I mean, you're not telling them the whole truth. I don't like it when we give stories as if it was
fine.
There were successes.
Fine.
I personally went through a lot.
Yeah, I know, right?
My first account got suspended and I shed tears because it was blood and sweat.
I know, right?
At a point, I was known as the girl that danced on Twitter.
I know, right?
In my community.
Yeah.
People saw me when Joey dragged me to the first physical hangout, which is where we are going. He said you have to attend it.
Building
people
a
know
community.
I don't like meeting with people one-on-one in real life. And he dragged me to, and people were like, oh, that's you. You're the lady that dances.
When you place the face to the voice, it really helps. And we're going to talk about that for business owners.
Now I want us to get into the business aspect of it, especially people who, run businesses, own businesses, and they're trying to do like the buying and selling.
Yes.
What role, how important is it for businesses to understand how to maneuver social media?
So it depends on what your business is into. If you're offering services or you're rendering some certain services or you're buying and selling, let's say you buy shoes and bags. I mean, you need to be specific of the social media platform and networks that you pick. That's one. And on the second thought, you need to also understand how your audience interact with content. Content is king, like you did mention in your intro. Content is king. You need to also understand their dynamics. You need to know their interests. You need to know, okay, if I make this kind of content, would they like it and all of that? And thanks to all the social media platforms and networks, they made this thing very easy. In essence, when you're starting out, I think it's okay to experiment with different social media platforms and formats. Like experiment, go on X, go on TikTok, go on Instagram, use Reels, post on Facebook, post on Shorts, post on Thread. One day, your content is going to peak. But before you think of the next thing, which has to do with thinking of the branding and on all of that and going all out, you need to do an analysis. Thanks to the social media platform and networks, they have made it very easy for you to have an access to your analytics. Your analytics is like a dashboard that tells you, hey, this is how your content is going. These are the age range that kind of people that are engaging with your content. This is where they are coming from. This is the time they engage your content. When you post video, you get more engagement. When you post post pictures, you get more of this likes and comment and all. So these are like key indicators that helps you to understand how your page is interacting with the audience, because your audience are the ones driving your page. So you're creating your content because of the audience that waiting.
I've had a chat with someone about social media, and the person said, well, lots of businesses, they just go on social media to dance and while away your time. Like in real life, you need to be making sales. You don't have the person literally said, I don't have time to go and be dancing on social media. Like I need to be making sales. I need to be driving sales. How then do you explain to this person how advertising works? How does getting visibility on social media translate into getting sales?
So for instance, you're starting out, you have your first 100 followers and it grew to like 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 to 5,000. I think it is time to start converting those followers to money. So how do you do that, if you'd ask me? I mean, yes, you can't.
1,000?
I'm just saying, for starters.
No, because if you say 1,000, I'm like, okay.
For starters, come on, like One thing I love about social media is when you get to a certain milestone, that K in front makes a lot of, it's like the dopamine of social media.
Oh, yeah.
So the dopamine of social media is when you have, like, for instance, when you have the K on your followers, you need to now start thinking, okay, so in my content creation, how have I been able to create value? What kind of information do I want to portray? What brand would I like to be perceived online? And how do I then convert all of this to money? So that's what you need to ask yourself. And again, what format should you be using? Should you use a video? Should you use pictures? Should you use an explainer video and all of that? So for you to be thinking of conversion of in terms of traction, if you can't dance on TikTok, if TikTok is where you need to make more sales, why don't you just employ or get a social media handler that will do all of the dancing and all of the twerking and whatever, jumping on the challenges? Oh, I just used that word. Apologies. But anyways, so why don't you just employ this tech savvy Gen Z person that understands how social media works, understand trends, understands even how you can beat the algorithm and all of that. Employ the person. You can even give the person a target. When you make sales, you're going to take a certain percentage. Let's say you make 100 naira, for instance, 30 naira goes to you and all of that. In essence, you're trying to see how you can incentivize the content creation process, and even for the content creator will start having value for what he's doing. So it's very easy. So you don't necessarily have to be the one dancing and all. Employ these Gen Zs. They know how to do this.
It's not just Gen Zs. Some millennials are tech savvy too. I think the idea of it is employ. Now, social media is always, it's constantly evolving.
Of course.
Beating the algorithm, I know, for Instagram, like let's say last month, was basically you had to post reels every day. You had to use certain kind of
captions, songs to jump
sounds,
on.
you know. Now it's like posting 3 times a week. How do you keep up as a business with these evolving trends?
That's why you need to have a social media team that would handle your business. We have a lot of them in Abuja, for instance. You can reach out to them and strike a deal, and then they help you with the content ideation, execution, and marketing. I mean, these are guys that are very good, except you have the manpower to employ. If you have the manpower or you have the capacity to employ someone, good for you. But if you don't, for starters, I mean, I feel it's very important to understand how these trends work. To also understand that this social media space, the algorithm matters. I mean, it changes every now and then. If you look at what has been happening to some certain creators, even on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the rest, the algorithm is not always working in their favor. So what do? You go back to the drawing board and say, guys, I think there is a need for us to start doing stuff differently. How can we rehatch or repurpose our content? How can we go about changing the type of content creation format that we do? You understand? So like, these are ways to beat the algorithm. And then don't forget that you can always experiment. I mean, there's a room for you to always experiment. So when I'm talking about experimentation, try a lot of things. Just like the way we run an ad, for instance. When I run an ad for a client, I make sure that I run 3 ads. I will observe the ad and pick the one that works best. Shut down the remaining 2. It's about experimentation.
But is that not costing? Is that not costing them extra if you're shutting down ads?
No. So for instance, you have a 10K budget. If I were you, I will run 3 ads with that 10K budget, observe it for 3 days. So I will use different contents and different copies and even different ways of channeling the leads, right? Then you observe. When you observe and also experiment, that would go a long way to guide you on how best to look at, okay, I think this ad is picking, these ones are not picking. Is it because of the content type? Let me shut down the remaining 2. So that's how to be beating some of these tricks. I wish we can talk about these tricks on knowing how to run your ads, but I think we're going to do that in another episode.
No, I think we should do that now. Let's talk about like how to, yes. What are the things? I was actually going to ask you next, like how to stay motivated. It can be pretty demoralizing when you're posting every day, you're creating content, and it just seems like the algorithm is out to get you. But how do you stay motivated?
I mean, for the same reasons why you started your business should be the same reason why you need to always stay motivated to create content. So I wake up in the morning, I go to work. Why do I go out? that should be the same reason, should be the same motivation to why you need to create content for your, let's say for instance, there are different social media networks and platforms. There are different content types that appeals to any social media platform. Like on YouTube, we have videos. We even have YouTube shorts. On Reels, we have videos and sometimes pictures and all. But it won't pull more than the way you have videos rolling on TikTok. On Instagram, we have more of videos than pictures. On Facebook, we have more of videos than pictures, because if you look at these platforms, they have their own metrics, where you can measure, I think I'm having more likes or more views and all of that. So for you starting out, I think it's very important for you to be motivated. Think about why you started that business. And if you have the manpower, think of how you can engage a social media handler, a content creator.
The way you've been marketing the social media handler thing,
these are guys that help you out. You understand? These are guys that know the tricks. They understand how to beat the algorithm. They know how to come up with content ideas. What you just need to tell them is, please tell me about your brand. And they sit down and come up with brainstorming ideas on how you can go all out. And when you implement all of these strategies, I'm sure the next 6 months or 3 months, you're going to get traction.
Talking about tractions, what are those tricks that you could employ so you can hack the social media advertising? Promotional ads.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about two things. The first thing is there is something happening new. It's a new trend. It's called it's called influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a form of marketing where you use social media influencers to drive sales and get traction, do brand awareness and all of that. Yes, that's one. On the contrary, instead of paying these influencers to get the needed traction or visibility that you need for your business, you can pay Meta, aka Facebook, or
this is Instagram. You trying to take food out of our mouth with the influencers.
You said I should give the tricks.
Tricks.
So you would have to pay. For instance, I did an experimental ad recently with like 5,000 naira, and I got a traction of over 100k impression. That's simply because I was able to beat the algorithm and I understood how to maneuver my way around. So for instance, let's say you're running a video ad. What you need to do with that video ad is to possibly get views that will later generate into convert into lead generation, right? So let's say you're running a video ad, you have 10,000 naira. What you need to do is to find, so for instance, let's say Chinwe Blessing is selling wigs or hair. I want to market her or do a sponsored ad on Facebook about her business. Yes, there's a need for me to focus on interest that's got to do with people that are interested in, let's say, wigs, hair and all of that, or hair treatments, fashion and all. How about that lady, that banker that is in the bank, that is sitting like an MD or a director? How about I also tailor my ad to her? That's what we call target ad. So you are targeting a specific audience, and there's what we call retarget ad. This retarget ad, you are retargeting a certain niche, you are penetrating a certain niche that would possibly like to see your goods and services. So when you are playing around the interest, likes, age range and even location, in fact Facebook will be telling you that below, you see that Facebook will be telling you that, oh, you're going to be reaching a certain number of expected impact from all of this tweaking that you're doing. So you don't have to go all out or all direct. And that is why for a business owner like Chinwe Blessing that is selling hair, when you're running your ad, don't go.
This is hypothetical.
Yes, fictional Chinwe Blessing.
Say, come and give me hair.
Chinwe Blessing that is selling hair. You don't have to go all out to say, I'll just run an ad to people that are just looking out for content that's got to do with hair. No, but at least try and broaden your interest and target. And when you do that, I'm sure that you're going to get more return of investment. Imagine you to spend 10k on your ad and you're getting about 10k or 100k to like a 150k views on Facebook. That's a return of investment.
Of the 100 and 150k views, right? Yes. Which is what I think some practical people will be more interested in.
Yes.
What are the odds? Like, what are the percentages what is the percentage of people that I should expect to convert into customers?
So 2 things are involved. The quality of the content. What are you pushing? How was it presented? How was it shot? So presentation is very key, and delivery. Like, what's the concept like? Was it a short skit? You know, when we watch this comedians sometimes, usually when I see an advert, I tell from the first line.
Yeah.
And we know that this is an advert. We just watch for it. Wait for it.
It's coming somewhere.
So for your it starts with the kind of content you create for your brand. It starts from there. And then secondly, I think this one is very important simply because it's just like when you see an advert of, I don't want to call it brand, an advert of
a brand
on, I don't want to call another brand on TV. You see an advert of a brand on TV. Because you don't buy it doesn't mean they've lost.
Oh, okay.
But there's what we call brand awareness and visibility. The reason why they are doing it,
I was really hoping you were going to say that.
The reason why they are doing it is to tell you, it's just like when a guy is winking at a lady in the dark. On the contrary, but they are telling you that, hey guys, I'm here, I'm still here. This brand is still here. Brand awareness. In fact, there's one ad I used to love so much. It's about one of the fintech in Nigeria. I mean, the ad, I don't know whether I should describe the ad. The ad is about a lady that went to eat in a restaurant, and then she needed to pay, and then she could not pay because her car could not pay, and all of that, and then she was made to wash plates. So that created an impression. In fact, because of that ad, I will want to subscribe. Simply because I've now understood that they were deliberate about their storytelling, their content ideation. I mean, it was so perfect. Sometimes
look at you being unimpressed.
I mean, I'm just saying that is what people usually do. So the aspect of brand visibility is very important because you don't get people to buy. So for instance, I give you a practical example about the Chinwe Blessing that is selling hair, spending 10K on ads.
You said that one more time, I might just end up selling hair.
I'm giving you free PR now on radio.
I might just end up, selling hair.
So a 10K ad converting to like 100K views. Even if I bet you, I mean, about 10 to 15 people would definitely reach out, even if it's just to make inquiries, even if they don't buy. And an average number of, let's say, 5 to, let's say, 3 would definitely buy. But we are not saying that was an ad that wasn't converting, but instead, what happens is for the 100 and something K that saw it, it has created an impression to say, guys, I'm here. So the more reason why we need to invest in meta ads. If you can't invest in meta ads, you need to switch. Check in with the social media influencers. I mean, I'm going to give you ideas of how to identify them. These guys are even on your feed. I mean, these are guys that
you're sleeping on us.
Do you get? So these are guys that have 2,000 followers. I remember growing a small community where I'm from with about just 5 people. Once you have a 500 follower to like 1,000 follower, you're qualified to join my community. The idea of that is to create a social media community. And then we are going to talk about community very soon. I don't know whether I should talk about it now.
Go ahead.
So for social media community, I mean, let's say there is a social media hangout, an X hangout in Abuja. Why don't you just go there and show yourself? Go with your flex or banner or go with your
What
tees.
I'm going to say to you is, Joey, can't we leave social media on social media? Do we always have to go out?
The reason why you have to go out is because we have about 5 points. Go and verify. I think 5.71 billion people go and verify online. So I don't know how many billion people are in the world. So it's a fraction to tell you that, hey guys, we have this number of people online. The more reason why you have a small business, you need to show up online. The more reason why when you are showing up online, show up with good content. The more reason why when you're showing up, you need to stay motivated. Because the more reason why you need to think about why you had to start that business. Think about all of this. So when you put one or two together, you need to consider that you need to keep showing up as a business person. And
now this one I've been waiting for, and we've got just about 4 minutes to do it.
Okay.
In the 4 minutes, you need to answer this and one more question. Okay. What are some of the common mistakes that businesses make online, especially online businesses, on their online stores, on various social media, especially Instagram bios or their Instagram feeds? What are some of the most common mistakes they make that you wish they just knew that this is driving customers away from you?
Yeah. When you post online and you don't post the price tag, it's a very big flaw.
Bro.
When you are posting, in fact, find a way, I beg you in the name of God, find a way to put the price tag in the picture.
Bro.
Because the truth is, There's attention span is reducing. Why don't you just make it easier, make the job easier?
DM for price.
Who DMs for price now? Who does that? So attention span is reducing. When they are scrolling, if you notice, we are always scrolling. Like we spend 0.00001 seconds to scroll, and we don't waste time. People are swiping.
And I'll tell you this, Joey,
Yeah.
The number of times I buy more on social media than I do buy like
Physically,
in real life. Yes.
yeah.
And the number of times that I will buy a product
Yeah.
simply because there was one time that I was just scrolling and I saw it and then I saved it to buy because your price is cheaper
Yeah.
than I've seen on other pages. That's because you put your price.
There. What are you hiding? Are you making
trying
them
to cheat me?
Are you trying to get them to the DM to start negotiating
Do you
price?
know there's one I saw?
Attention
She
span
even
is
like
reducing.
she doesn't post her products with prices.
Yeah.
Then she put like a screenshot of a conversation she had with someone where she disclosed the price. Then she mosaiced. What are you hiding?
You
Is it
get-
your family secrets?
So when you're posting as a business owner, please make sure you put the price tag on the post, or try and find a way to put the price tag on the picture. Secondly, your bio needs to be optimized. I'm speaking for business
All
owners.
those X's in bios, those red X's,
and then-
no refund. No.
It's not necessary. I mean, you can. I think I'm going to do a very short explainer on how to come up with how you can come up with a great bio for your business. I mean, when I go to your bio, for instance, your bio even starts from when I do a random search. Let's say a random search like a hair seller or a hair retailer in Abuja. When I do a random search, your name should pop up number one. There are tricks and hacks.
On how to do that.
Turn on your notification and subscribe to buy my ebook. So, so there are tricks to that. So when I'm doing a random search of a hair vendor in Abuja, for instance, you should pop up as number one. There are tricks to that. Secondly, learn to separate your personal portfolio with your business page.
Portfolio.
Yeah, learn to Chinwe Blessing is a brand, no doubt. Yeah, but then when Chinwe Blessing starts selling hairs and wigs, I mean, she may come up with a different name. So it's a brand. So learn to separate your personal profile and your business profile. In fact, sometimes I used to tell my clients sometimes, how many followers do you have? I will beg you, convert that account that they know you as to be your business page, because that's how you should take your business.
But that isn't there supposed to be a downside to that, considering now if your personal brand is a brand,
yes,
your followers already follow that personal brand for a particular
reason. Yeah.
Is that not why we discourage people from buying pages that have plenty
no,
numbers?
there'll be a decline of engagement, maybe because the kind of content they were expecting you to be posting has dropped, so they will definitely leave. There will be a decline, no doubt. But build another one from scratch. People don't have patience anymore, and that is why I'm always advocating that please don't buy followers, don't buy engagement. Let it be organic, simply because people want to. For instance, what's the need of having 500k followers, and when you make a post you just get 12 likes or 12 likes? Who does that? So build from scratch. That's what I usually tell people. And when you are transiting from using a personal brand to your brand, I think it's not a bad idea to be sharing, oh, I'm launching my brand soon, follow for more exclusive and whatever, or use this coupon code,
because
first 10 people that follow and all. Exactly. So when you're optimizing your socials, make sure that you arrange your bio in such a way that they can always contact you, they can always reach out to you via WhatsApp Business. You can link your WhatsApp Business to your socials. I think I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
You're welcome.
It's been such an amazing episode with you. I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
Before we came on air, we're saying it's today will not be enough for what we want to discuss.
I know, right?
As a business owner, please remove all of those X's. Stop writing in caps. You're screaming at us.
Yeah.
Don't do that, okay? We're your customers and we really don't want to be difficult. Don't make the work
and know when is the right time for you to post. Using your analytics is
absolutely
very important.
I hope you've learned something. If you want to go over today's episode again, just check out YouTube. The episode is going to be live there on YouTube. It is at Voice of the People Abuja, VOP Abuja. That is the handle to check on YouTube. My name is Chinwe Blessing. I gotta go, but not before I leave you with beautiful music. I mean, you have to be vibing before the news at 6, right? Stay with us, don't go anywhere, and thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.